If you start to break this game down, though, and look at the individual efforts, you look at how much of the team's intact now since Thompson returned, and I know you're going to laugh at that one, but, I mean, you're looking at 2 really complete performances now from him, looking like he should probably be the starting center on this team, which I said coming into this game. Maybe that first half goes differently if Brad makes that move, because Rob, another game where he was fouling often,
Again,
not in great position.
Yeah.
He's fine, Bobby, but he's good in this role here.
I think the second unit is really like where he's going to thrive.
Who, Rob or Tristan?
Yeah. Rob had a great run with that second unit.
Again, the problem, this is the same issue, and we kind of go over it with Brad made the case. Rob's not going to get involved much in the office with the first team, and the question is why? The question is, why don't they look for him in more opportunities and things that he does well, instead of just saying, well, we're not going to pass to him, so he's not going to score.
It's not about the offense, though. It's his defense. The defense is the issue.
The defense, again, compared to Thompson, I don't know that you're seeing massive differences in what Rob did versus what Tristan did tonight. Again, we're gushing over a guy that went 2 for 4 from the field, had 7 points and like 6 rebounds.
I know, but he's never been a stats guy.
What I'm saying is he's kind of a there guy. Like, he's not making massive impacts. The point for Rob is he does so many plus things that it negates any of the negative things because his pluses are so much more. Problem the last couple of games from Rob, you're not getting the plus performance. He's kind of just there. So because we're not seeing him, play above the rim, catch the lobs, get the ball in his hands and be able to make plays and facilitate. He's trying to. There was one moment in the game where Jalen had the ball and Rob's up top and Rob's like, give me the freaking ball, move it, and he did. Right. And then he set a screen and it resulted in a 3. So it is, the ball's stagnating and it's not kind of working. They're not working it well with Rob in that first unit offense.
Yeah, they were looking for him like a week ago in the last couple games since Philly when they weren't able to look for him. The last couple games, I don't think they're looking to him the same way or trying to get him involved in the same way. I mean, I do think, again, like this goes back to Rob has a couple bad games and the magnifying glass is on him when, other players in that starting lineup have bad weeks or months.
No, but it's not about benching him to demote him. It's about putting him in the best position to succeed. And that's what they ultimately did, I thought, in the second half.
But he has proven to be able to succeed playing with the start.
They're 7-2 with him as a starter, so we got to kind of start to.
I know. I'm just talking about this game where you have Towns on the other side, and it's an issue.
It's great that Tristan's contributing in a positive way. That's great. I mean,
yeah, you needed a guy who wasn't Cornette, right?
Yeah, I'm glad to see it. I mean, the guy, who knows what he was going to look like after all that time off? He's come back and he looks like he's a player that's going to contribute, which goes opposite of what he said after, was it the last game where he's like, the regular season means nothing. I mean, Bobby,
that's a different story.
You wanted to hit on this.
Yeah.
So you have the floor.
Well, I mean, that's not what he played like tonight.
Real quick,
I've seen...
I know that's the thing though. It's the funny thing is he played like the regular season actually did matter. The way that they came back, it does. So it was kind of crazy to hear him say the regular, it's horseshit.
Well, you know what it is? He got sent to the bench, so it's a different kind of intensity when you get sent down there.
Right.
And he's going to work his way back.
The bottom line with Tristan is that when he gets on the floor, he has to make an impact. That was really the issue that they had with him in that starting unit. They needed him to defend and rebound at a high level with the other guys on the floor, and he wasn't doing that with any kind of consistency. Rob gives you a X factor in that starting lineup that teams now have to start game planning for. It's going to open up things for those other guys, and I think defensively, I think they're a better team when Rob is out there, to be honest with you. He's going to make silly fouls. He's going to make mistakes. I get that. But I like the fact that Rob has that X factor in him where he can do some things that no one else, including Tristan Thompson, can do. And the other factor in all of this is, remember, Tristan has had a long-ass layoff. Do you really want to throw him back out there to Cat right out the jump? Do you really want to throw him right out there to the Wolves, guys like Joel Embiid? You want to ease his way back into it, get him on the floor where he's getting some confidence, because you're going to need Tristan Thompson in the playoffs. I'm convinced of that. He's going to have a couple of really big monster games for you. He needs to be more confident in his game, and I think the only way that can happen is you got to put him in situations where he can build that up. That's what they did with Rob. That's why he was coming off the bench, so he could build up that confidence. To now he's a starter.
If only everybody could play opposing second units, everybody's stats would be
Well,
looking amazing. I
Yeah.
mean,
not if
yeah,
you're a second, not if you belong in that second unit, your stats are going to suck. We've
yeah.
seen that before. We've seen guys who are legit second unit guys against legit second unit guys, and guess what? They kind of sucked.
For sure. And that was
Mhm.
kind of the story of the first half is Minnesota's bench just took it to Boston's in a big way, whether it was
Yeah,
Russell or Hernan Gomez or some of those. I think it was like 26-12 a half in bench points, and they just couldn't get anything going when those bench guys came on the floor. And you saw the depth of this team come into question again. So that goes back to that notion that who starts really doesn't matter, because
right.
for once, Brad did switch it up after halftime. He didn't stick with the usual rotations. Thompson kind of took on that front role. Rob went to the bench, got it popping with Peyton Pritchard, which is still such a great underrated duo that I like them to be able to push a little bit when they get the opportunity there. So some of those adjustments, I thought this was a pretty strong Brad game. You know, he actually moved and did some things in that second half when the first half was absolutely abysmal. I mean, would they give up 66 points? So, you know, from your standpoint, Sherrod, you look at that and you just say, this defense hasn't improved all that much if you're giving up 66 points in the first half.